6:48, time for the morning rush. Today's early risers woke up to another large plume of smoke over Albuquerque. Around 4 this morning, Albuquerque Fire Rescue was called to a large fire at an abandoned commercial building on the southwest corner of 6th Street and Haynes Avenue. Now, they were able to bring that blaze under control within about 10 minutes of arriving.
Meanwhile, Albuquerque Fire Rescue is investigating another massive blaze that sent a smoke plume into the air that could be seen across the city. Just before 5:30 yesterday evening, AFR received calls about a fire at a pallet yard on Niconda Road. That's an industrial area not far from Edith and Montaño. AFR says no one was injured in that fire.
Albuquerque police are continuing to search for a man accused of shooting a security guard. An arrest warrant states that a group of 5 people got into a fight with the guard at the Distillery Bar in downtown early yesterday morning. Investigators were able to identify a suspect, 23-year-old Isaiah Webb. He is now facing an aggravated assault charge. Ryan.
And it's going to be a windy one today, courtesy of this low pressure moving through the four corners and a high pressure to the southeast. In between, southwesterly winds really picking up. As windy as it was yesterday, maybe even windier this afternoon with some dust and the fire potential, but a little bit cooler today.
This morning, a guard at a northern New Mexico jail is facing drug charges after her husband reported her for smuggling drugs into the detention center. Officer Amber Salazar is accused of smuggling narcotics into the Vigil Maldonado Detention Center in Raton. Court documents state that her husband, who is a sergeant at the jail, notified a deputy warden about the crime last month.
APD is continuing to investigate an incident in which a man walked up to an Albuquerque woman's apartment and made off with her specialized wheelchair. Laura Mills says that she was left in dismay watching a man take off in her specialized wheelchair on Friday morning. Mills says that several people have offered to help get her a different chair, but she says so far none of those options have worked. Ryan.
And current air quality unhealthy for some areas this morning around the Albuquerque metro. So please, if you guys are susceptible to like the dust, even a little bit of that wildfire smoke, wear a mask, drink plenty of water. We're going to see those winds pick up again with more dust and the higher potential for fire danger.
The man shot at the installation of a controversial statue in Española is now suing the county for what happened that day. Video shows the moments when Ryan Martinez is seen pulling out a gun and shooting Jacob Johns at the reinstallation of the Don Juan de Oñate statue in Rio Arriba County. Now Johns is suing late Rio Arriba County Sheriff Billy Merrifield and the county manager, claiming that county leaders knew that violence was likely at the event.
More than 2,000 acres of land just outside of Santa Fe city limits is now being protected and preserved for future generations. At a meeting late last month, Santa Fe County commissioners signed off on buying more than 2,600 acres of land north of El Dorado. Commissioners say they want to eventually build trails for horses, hikers, and bicyclists. Ryan.
And taking a look at traffic right now, no major accidents nor slowdowns, just getting a little bit busier toward the Big I. And taking a look at tracker heading north on I-25 near Lead and Cole. Again, getting a little bit busier out there, more cars on the roadways, but still mostly smooth sailing traffic. We'll have more traffic updates throughout the rest of the morning.
As she gets ready for her second season as a pro, WNBA superstar Caitlin Clark is already giving back. Yesterday, the Caitlin Clark Foundation announced they're building a new mini pitch in Clark's hometown of Des Moines, Iowa. The community court will have a soccer and basketball and will be finished in time for next school year.
And now it's time for the 5 facts.
At number 5, a New Mexico State University professor is being recognized for his role in developing Al Pacino's new horror flick. Ross Marks, a professor at NMSU's Creative Media Institute, served as a producer on The Ritual, a film based on the last official ordained exorcism on American soil. The film also stars Dan Stevens of Downton Abbey fame and Patricia Heaton. The movie hits theaters nationwide on June 6th, but the Allen Theaters Cineport 10 in Las Cruces will host an invitation-only sneak peek on June 5th.
At number 4, more than 2,000 acres of land just outside of Santa Fe city limits is now being protected and preserved for future generations following a move by the Santa Fe County Commissioners. Well, at a meeting late last month, those commissioners signed off on buying more than 2,600 acres of land that is north of El Dorado off of I-25. Now, that's currently home to a cattle ranch. Commissioners say that they want to eventually build trails for horses, bikers, and bicyclists. The land was purchased at a cost of $3.7 million. There's not a timeline just yet as to when the property will be in the county's hands, but officials hope to start building trails in about a year or two.
At number 3, a guard at a northern New Mexico jail is facing drug charges after her husband reported her for smuggling drugs into the detention center. Officer Amber Salazar is accused of smuggling narcotics into the V Hill Maldonado Detention Center in Raton. Court documents state her husband, who is a sergeant at the jail, notified a deputy warden about the crime last month after seeing her on surveillance video having an inappropriate relationship with an inmate. Inmate Gilbert Romero is also facing conspiracy charges for the scheme.
And at number 2, more wind today and dust with even higher fire threat for some, but a cooler afternoon. Rain, snow in the Four Corners. It'll be even cooler but calmer tomorrow.
At number 1, Albuquerque Fire Rescue is still investigating a massive fire that could be seen across the city. Just before 5:30 yesterday evening, AFR received calls about a fire at a pallet yard on Niconda Road that was near an industrial area near Edith and Montano. Well, the fire is under control this morning, but firefighters say the flames also spread to nearby properties, even sparking some vehicles on fire. Now, those nearby properties include mobile homes and Premier Distribution, and there was also damage to commercial equipment. AFR says no one was injured in that fire.